Pay no attention to the desk. It is so dirty. It is so just, there's bills, there's checks, there's all kinds of crap here on the desk. Please pay no attention to any of the stuff that is on the desk. Now let's get into the video. If you guys can't tell by now with all the different stuff that I have been attempting to make lately, I'm kind of running out of ideas here. So we're just going to kind of roll with that and just see where this video takes us. Long story short, I've been spending a lot of time lately trying to get caught up on editing, which is no surprise. It's something I've been working on trying to do for months now, but continuously work begins to pile up. And so I just spend a lot of my days indoors now, which is kind of smart because it's been super hot outside. So there's really not much else to do outside. I just have plenty of time inside to get caught up on my work. In between projects, in between the editing of different things, I kind of like to take time to kind of do other things, whether I'm watching YouTube or watching YouTube. But lately I have not really been watching a whole lot of YouTube. I've actually been watching more Netflix and more movies and whatnot. And I decided, you know, I've been watching a lot of movies lately, mainly just to kind of get a little bit of inspiration for some independent things that I would like to do, or maybe even just for some different things with the blog that I would like to do. And I figured, why don't I just make a video talking about the movies that I've watched lately? So welcome to a new little mini-series here on the daily vlog, which probably will not survive for very long, called The Movies I've Watched Lately. The idea of this basically is for me to talk about movies or TV shows or whatever that I have watched lately and kind of just give my take on them, what I recommend them, what I not recommend them, and there you go. And most likely whatever I put out here is going to be destroyed by the internet, so have at it. For the first little installment here of what I've watched lately, we're going to talk about 3 Netflix movies. We're going to talk about Rim of the World, Secret Obsession, and Triple Frontier. So all 3 of these movies are not totally completely new movies. One of them has been out for quite a while. The other, I think, has been out for almost a month. And then one of them has been released, I think, recently within the last week or so. And so finally, while I had a little bit of a break in between projects, I decided to sit down and watch these movies, and here are my thoughts on them. This is my very first time talking about movies and giving my thoughts on them, so just bear with me. Please go easy on me, internet, if I put this video out. So the first movie that I watched out of the 3 was Rim of the World, which was a Netflix original movie. Of course, all 3 of them are Netflix original movies, but this one is an alien invasion movie. It follows this kid. His name is Alex. He's kind of a nerd. His mom sends him away to a summer camp so he can kind of get out of his shell and meet a bunch of new kids. And while he's away at camp, aliens decide to invade the Earth for some reason we don't really know. It's hypothesized that maybe they wanted to invade Earth for its resources, but Alex and a couple of kids that he meets while he's away at camp have to team up with each other to go and deliver some kind of key to NASA so they can defeat the aliens. And at first that kind of sounds kind of cool. I did not like this movie. I'll be 100% honest, I really didn't like the dialogue. I didn't like the corny, cheesy, really, it felt forced comedy in this movie. I wanted to watch it because I thought it would be a real interesting take on an alien invasion from, I guess, a kid's perspective, because a majority of invasion movies are mostly from adults or the military and what they try to do to survive or to stop an alien invasion. But I thought this would kind of be interesting with a kid's take. Granted, I love comedies. I knew this was meant to be a comedy, but I found myself not laughing. I found myself cringing more while watching this movie. And I'll be honest, I really didn't enjoy it. So we're going to go ahead and give this one a thumbs down, because that's exactly what I gave it on the Netflix rating. It reminded me of those really bad cult horror classic films where it's just the acting is terrible and the dialogue and everything is just terrible, but somehow 30 years in the future people just love to make fun of those movies. So I could see that maybe happening in the future, but I really don't know. This really was not a great movie. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give this one probably a 2 or a 3. I'd give it a 3. I'll be nice. I'll give this one a 3. But bottom line, I really did not like Rim of the World. Not that great, but go ahead, watch it if you totally want. The second movie that I watched was The Secret Obsession with Brenda Song, the girl from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. She played London Tipton. I did like this movie. I thought it had a very neat premise to it. There were a few scenes that actually had me on the edge of my seat. I don't watch a whole lot of movies like The Secret Obsession. This was my very first time watching this kind of thriller. It wasn't necessarily a horror film, but it was one of those creepy thrillers. Brenda plays this girl named Jennifer who gets into a nasty car accident at the beginning of the movie while evading some dude with a knife, potentially essentially trying to kill her, and she goes to the hospital, loses a bunch of her memory from the past 3 years or whatever, and this guy picks her up pretending to be her husband, but in reality it's this dude who's super obsessed with her and plans this crazy plot to kind of cover up her entire past after he murdered her family and tries to pass himself off as her husband. The plan falls through when she starts asking a bunch of questions, which in my opinion, why would you ever think that that would go right in the first place? First off, why would you try to do that to somebody in the first place? So I began to kind of ask questions towards the antagonist of the film, the guy whose name is Russell. His real name is, I think, Brian or Greg. Personally, I really like that character in the film. He passed himself off at the beginning as this really gentle-hearted, kind dude, and slowly as he sees that his plan is deteriorating, he begins to lose his composure, and that's when the shit hits the fan in the movie. It reminded me of a few other films. Some of them I just haven't really taken the time to figure out what exactly the name of those films were, but bottom line, The Secret Obsession, I thought it was really cool. I thought the ending was a little strange, but other than that, I like this film. I'd give it probably on a scale of 1 to 10. I'd give it like a 7.5, maybe. It's not a typical film for me to watch. Granted that I love watching a lot of horror movies and I love watching a lot of action movies from time to time, along with some comedies thrown in there. But The Secret Obsession being a thriller, being a neat, fresh idea, sort of, I think, I liked it. 7 out of 10. I would recommend it. Now, the third movie that I watched, and this was the movie that kind of inspired me to make this video, was The Triple Frontier with Ben Affleck, the guy who played Prince Oberyn from Game of Thrones, and the other dude from Sons of Anarchy. The other two guys, I recognize them, but I don't know what movies that they're in, but they were all in this movie. So Triple Frontier follows these 5 former US military dudes. They all live pretty crappy lives, while one of them kind of does a lot of work down in South America, and he sees an opportunity for him and all of his buddies to get rich. So what he does is he devises a plan to bring his buddies down to South America so they can essentially rob this massive drug lord's house and rob him of millions and millions of dollars so they can all live rich and happy lives back up in the US. Now, for the most part, everything goes fairly well in this movie, but it's not until like the last 30 or 40 minutes when everything kind of begins to go south. So they end up killing more people than they want to. They end up doing other things that were not a part of the plan, which obviously in this kind of movie, nothing's going to go according to plan. I'm not going to give too much away on this movie because personally I enjoyed it and I wouldn't want someone to spoil a movie that I would hopefully enjoy, if that makes any sense. I'm not going to go too in depth with this movie. Bottom line, I enjoyed it. A lot of scenes had me on the edge of my seat. I don't know why movies have me doing that lately, but they just do. There were certain scenes where I definitely felt bad for some of the characters and for some of the decisions that they had to make. But in short, I enjoyed this movie. Not as much as I enjoyed The Secret Obsession, oddly enough, but I would definitely give Triple Frontier probably like a 6.5 out of 10. And I would definitely recommend this movie if you're just looking for something to kind of, you know, maybe put on in the background, or you actually want to sit down and watch this movie. I think I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the video, that these are not comprehensive reviews or very in-depth things on these movies. It's just movies that I watched, little tidbits about them, summaries, whatever. Did I enjoy them? Did I not enjoy them? Rim of the World, did not enjoy. The Secret Obsession and Triple Frontier, I enjoyed them. If you do want to watch these movies, awesome. If you don't want to watch them, that's totally fine. These are just my opinions. Do not take them to heart. These are just how I felt about these movies, and these were the movies that I watched this week. I did watch some others, but probably maybe we'll talk about those in a later video. I don't know. And speaking of videos, what did you think about this one? Did you think this was stupid? Did you think this was a neat idea? Do you want to hear me talk about more movies? They definitely will not be in-depth reviews. If I continue to do this, it's probably just going to be a similar loose format like we have here. Maybe, I don't know, but let me know in the comments below what you guys thought. When it's really late in the day and I have not filmed a video, or I haven't even started working on a video, I kind of just pick whatever comes to mind, and this was pretty much the first thing that came to mind. So let me know what you guys thought about this one in the comments below. I'd really love to know your feedback. So with that being said, that is it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye. I forget what I'm supposed to do with my hands here. Bye, guys.